Groceries cost more than ever, and now we're talking about the first trillionaire. I sat down with Senator Mark Kelly to find out if DC really understands what families like ours are going through.
We need people like you fighting for us. Just the cost of living is insane. And especially as a millennial, as a Gen Zer, things were very different back in the day, as you mentioned earlier. What are we doing to combat that right now?
In my job in the United States Senate, we look for opportunities to reduce the cost of things. And we've got ideas and we can throw them out there. We got to get it passed through legislation. And you got to have a president that's interested in helping regular people. He talks a good game. He really does. When you think about what he does and the actions that he has taken, that bill he passed that he calls that big, beautiful bill, it's beautiful if you're a billionaire. That's a good deal for you. But what he did on the cost of healthcare, if you get your healthcare from the Affordable Care Act exchange, like online, your rates have gone up already. And healthcare costs are going to go up for people across the country.
Yes.
I mean, almost everybody.
So funny enough, here in Nevada, about 115,000 people could potentially lose healthcare because of this big, beautiful bill. What do you say to moms like me who are just trying to figure out how to take care of their family?
We're fighting for you. And we have an opportunity this month to try to fix some of this. And we're going to try.
Okay.
And we're going to push. We're out there battling it out with this president who his whole thing was, I'm going to give this big tax cut. I'm going to pay for some of it by taking away health care from poor people and working class people, or just raising their rates and taking food assistance away from people who can't afford food. And that is going to pay for some, not all, of the bill, which is the big tax cut for millionaires and billionaires. So we're working on fixing it. Are we going to be successful? I don't know. It's hard when you don't have the numbers. Ultimately, this comes down to man. I was an engineer and math is really important.
Yeah.
And it's a real thing. It comes down to electoral math. Like, do we have the numbers in the House and the Senate to beat back on some, not all, because we're not going to win on everything, but can we beat back some of his ideas by getting some of our Republican colleagues on board?
And that's a tough battle, especially because they play into falling in line, I guess. And
they fall in line.
Yeah, and that's just really, really tough.
It's interesting because how do you fall in line when you don't have a spine? They manage to without actually having a spine. But wait, let me tell you the good news. We have an election. Now, I know it's over a year away.
But we got to start now.
The American people they're not happy with this. If they're not happy about a guy that campaigned on reducing costs and did exactly the opposite with these tariffs. He has raised costs for the American people.
Yes.
And if you're a billionaire, they don't care if the price of eggs goes up or the price of ground beef or the price of gas. It doesn't matter to them. So it doesn't matter to Donald Trump and his kids and his family and his friends, but it matters to everybody else.
Another thing that I saw recently, and just talking about this ripple effect of the tariffs, of the big, beautiful bill, you've got the jobs report last month for August. Only 22,000 jobs in 1 month. Our entire country, which is just insane. Unemployment's at a 4-year record high. It's minuscule. That's a little town.
Yeah.
You know what
Unemployment's going up.
Yeah, unemployment's going up. I mean, here in Nevada, it's hitting us hard with tourism because if people don't have money to spend, they're not coming. And it's a ripple effect.
I noticed it at the airport when I got here yesterday.
Really?
Here in Vegas, I was shocked at how few people there were in that airport. I've been here a lot over the years.
Yeah.
I had never seen anything like it. Like baggage claim, this is in the middle of the day on a Saturday. Empty, like really empty. The plane I was on from Tucson, Southwest Airlines, was about like 3/4 full. Any other time I've flown on Southwest from Tucson, the plane was full.
Exactly.
Not full anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Vegas usually is that destination for people to go and have fun and all that, but if people can't afford to survive.
I'd love to see somebody to go around and ask to see if they could find a Canadian here.
The Convention Center Authority, they've said it's reduced significantly in terms of international travel. I mean, the data doesn't lie.
When you insult and piss off an entire country, are they going to come to your country? Are they going to come to Las Vegas and spend their money? No.
Saying it's going to be the 51st state.
He pissed off an entire nation who, by the way, a nation that was our best friend.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like on the planet.
I know.
We didn't have a better friend than Canada. And he's pissed them off and they don't come here anymore.
Let's keep talking a little bit more about pissing people off because you had that viral video where you called Elon Musk an asshole. A lot of people wish they could have that type of platform right now in this era.
He called me a traitor first.
He did call you a
traitor. So he deserved it.
I know, which is just boggles my mind. I mean, come on now, your service is your record.
Because I went to Ukraine.
Yeah, I know.
Our ally.
I know.
Trying to stick up for our ally against the Russians. He a traitor, I call him an asshole.
But what I want to talk about is you traded in your Tesla shortly after that. You said, it felt a little funky driving it. I personally have a Tesla. What I want to talk about is here in Vegas, actually, Elon's building with his boring company a tunnel across this entire strip where we're standing at right now. And it just seems like Trump's buddies, I know they had a big falling out, but
I think it's bigger than we think. All those like tech billionaires.
Recently, he didn't get the invite. No. Like, you notice his invite was missing specifically. But it just seems like those guys keep winning. The corporations are winning. The oligarchy is really winning in this state.
I just read that the pay package for Tesla for Elon could turn him into a trillionaire.
Oh, gosh.
We don't need trillionaires.
No, why? Seriously. I mean, we have, again, housing issues. We have people who have issues paying their student loans, living. I mean, we've got a lot of other issues, and it's just like, how many more zeros do you need?
You don't. We could have tax policy in our country where people could still be a billionaire, but somebody, maybe they're not going to be worth $400 billion. Maybe they'll be worth $50 billion.
Right.
And the rest of that money could go to healthcare.
Right.
It could go to higher wages for working folks so they could send their kids to college so they could buy a house.
Right.
And we know how to fix this. It's pretty straightforward.
It is.
You know what you do? You raise taxes on wealthy people and you cut taxes on working class people.
Share the wealth. I'm a business owner. I own a brick and mortar here in Las Vegas. And I proudly serve our military community. It's right across the street from Nellis Air Force Base. We do t-shirts, embroidery, and all this fun, creative stuff. And don't get me wrong, like, I want to have a comfortable living and legacy to create for my family. I also employ individuals. It's a nice ripple effect. I get the mindset. This also just feels so greedy. And it feels entirely greedy and unnecessary.
I think when Ronald Reagan was president, my brother told me this. He said when Reagan was president, the wealthiest person in the country in today's dollars would be worth $15 billion.
Really?
Yeah. So think about the inflation and the concentration of wealth at the highest level has dramatically changed.
No, that's minuscule now. I mean, we're talking about a possible trillionaire right now.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think people it's hard for the mind to even fathom that this
$1,000 billion, which is a trillionaire would be $1 million.
Exactly.
If you're going to put a pile of money that's $1 million, you're going to put it right here. A trillionaire has 1 million of those piles.
So it's just like, why do you need all of that? That just really,
nobody does.
How are you going to spend all of it? Just think about how well that could contribute to our world. There's working families that are really hurting right now.
That's why tax cuts for billionaires like Donald Trump did in this bill is just a dumb idea. I hope that the American people are starting to see this.
A lot of moms like myself are really overwhelmed. They're flooding the zone. It's day after day after day, like executive order. It's overwhelming.
The War Department.
Oh my gosh. I saw that the other day and I was just like, my husband's in the Army and I was just like, do you see this? Like, you work for the Department of War now? Department of War now?
It's ridiculous.
But it's really overwhelming. And I think about my family. I think about the future. I think about others who are really suffering right now. Do you ever get overwhelmed? How do you handle all of this?
Every week, I go to DC and it's like you're getting 1,000 curveballs, really like knuckleballs, for a baseball analogy, thrown at you like every week. You got to figure out which one you're going to swing at and what are you going to do. So I think it's about trying to avoid going down the rabbit hole of the distraction.
The doom and gloom.
Well, I don't think this War Department thing, I think it's a legitimate problem and an issue because it's going to make our allies and adversaries think about us a lot differently.
It sends a signal to the rest of the world.
Bad.
It really does. But even think about the individuals who just like yourself. You provided your service to our country. You know what I mean? And I don't know, as a young person, do I want to go sign up to represent the Department of War?
It'll be interesting to see if it has an effect on recruiting. The thing is, like, each week, what are we going to do to fight back for the American people and fight back against ridiculous policies that come from this White House? He likes the distraction. He's going to have one next year where he does a UFC fight on the lawn of the White House.
Oh my gosh.
And I just heard that the weigh-in, I don't know if this is true, but the weigh-in is going to be at the Lincoln Memorial. Abraham Lincoln is going to be rolling over
in his grave.
You're gonna, on my memorial that memorializes my life, you're going to do a weigh-in for a UFC fight?
Our tax dollars at work absolutely blows my mind. I want to know, when an executive order drops, because they drop like wildfire, who's the first person you call?
My brother. I don't call him, I usually text him. If it has something to do with the military, which I care really a lot about, I served 25 years, I'm on the Armed Services Committee, I'll shoot a text off to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs. What the hell's this?
What's harder, agreeing on a bipartisan bill or deciding what's for dinner with Gabby?
Agreeing on a bipartisan bill is usually pretty easy for me. Dinner thing can be hard. She usually gets her way.
The last time you bought groceries, do you remember how much your bill was?
I do get a lot of stuff like on Instacart, and it was like, I think it was like $68. It was like some eggs and English muffins and some yogurt and some fruit. $68. In Tucson, the grocery store is just down the street at the Safeway. Stuff is expensive. Ground beef there is like $11.99
Yep.
an ounce. Eggs are still like $7 a dozen for eggs. Stuff's expensive. Federal minimum wage is just over $7. You got to work like an hour and a half to buy some meat. I'm the son of 2 police officers. I remember my mom with the calculator sitting at our kitchen table figuring out how to pay the bills.
And I'm sure Donald Trump has no clue how much eggs cost right now. So a little this and that. Coffee or sleep?
I am like both. And I do make sure I try to get a good night's sleep. And I also drink a couple cups of coffee in the morning.
Healthcare or childcare reform?
That is a really good question. I have a grandkid. Through my daughter, I know how much childcare costs. It's really expensive, but people have to have healthcare. I would have to go with the healthcare.
Arizona summers or DC winters?
I think the DC winter is easier to manage.
Twitter or TikTok? Because I'm not calling it X. It's still Twitter to me.
For me, it's still Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm never going to call this thing X. I have a TikTok account.
I've seen you on TikTok.
We have an account. I don't have it on my phone, but I do have a Twitter account on my phone. So I would say Twitter.
Tacos or pizza?
Tacos.
You got a favorite order back home?
There's a taco place in Tucson called Sace.
MREs or space food?
So that's a good question. And I've got a lot of experience with both. And one of the reasons is that we do fly some MREs in space. Most of our food is formulated by NASA and it's dehydrated, but we do fly some MREs. I would say the best things in the food we get to eat in space are not the MREs. And it's loaded with salt.
What's one thing DC doesn't get about military families?
I think a lot of folks in DC don't understand the challenge of serving in the military. How you have to move all the time and the strain on your children, because I don't think they get that it's not only the service member who serves the country, it's the spouse and it's the kids. And then they deserve to be recognized for that and treated in a way that makes their service easier. If we don't treat military members at least equitably to what they would get, they'll leave. They'll go somewhere else. A lot of people just take military service members for granted.
There are others in the military community that I've known that they're hopping all over the place. And it is a strain. And even for our family, my husband travels frequently. He's gone at least 2 times a month, at minimum, sometimes more. And it's a strain on my daughter. She wants her dad, but he's out there serving our country and trying to make the world a better place. It is tough sometimes, so I appreciate that. If you could just leave one message for those moms, those Gen Zers, those millennial folks who just really feel checked out about politics, they feel like it's just all a game and it's a bit rigged, what would you say to them?
I would say that it has such a huge impact on their lives that it is really worth the time and effort to pay attention and to figure out who is out there fighting for them and who is out there fighting for somebody else that is not them.
Right.
And try to figure out which category each person running for office, which category do they fall into.